Hey everybody out there in BeastNet land. Brother Boggs here. I want to invite you down to the grand opening of
Connect to a Juice Bar.
118 Broadway, Seattle, Washington.
They make freshly made juices, smoothies, and fruit bowls.
Just clean, healthy eating that tastes just as good as it makes you feel. Grand opening November 17th, going through the end of the year. Come on down and check it out. Proud sponsors of BeastNet Podcast.
BeastNet Podcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
Hey everybody, it's Mike with BeastNet, and on this episode I got with me Tammy. So, Tammy, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. Yeah, it's been a good fall. I've done some crazy personal events and just ramping up for the 2022 Rise Challenge Series. So, yeah, good.
Yeah, I did 2 events this year with you,
Mm-hmm.
and then we've got the December event coming up.
Yes.
So, which if the listeners haven't signed up for it, get on it. Sign up on that. There'll be a link in there. There'll be a link. So I'm reminding Dawn because Dawn does that. There'll be a link for that on
yes,
this
Dawn.
post. So.
Get on it. It's awesome. Yeah. So the December one's a fun one. It's like those calendars you get with the little chocolates in, but you get a workout every day and you can't access it until the day of.
Yeah.
They're all short. So the whole thing is just to keep people going. Like if you're trying, most of them are 10 to 20 minutes, just something to keep you going. There's sandbag workouts, body weight workouts. There's a couple of days that it's just like go walk a mile or run a mile. So it's the whole purpose is to get you doing something from December 1st to 24th, no matter how busy you are. If you're really busy, you could do the lower rep sets. So you can just like 10 minutes and get stuff done. Or if you're doing a workout already, a lot of times I would do it as a finisher at the end of my training, or go for a run and do it as a finisher type of thing. So yeah,
Which it's a lot of fun. I did it last year, and it's like you said, it's like an advent calendar. Every day you open it up and it says, okay, this is what you're doing today. It's a little extra. I mean, it didn't take away from anything I'd already working on. It was just an extra add-in that kept me moving, gave me something other to do than my normal running a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just a little extra stuff, and it does help to get ready for the Rise Challenge events or any other event like a Go Ruck or anything else that people want to do, and just gives you some ideas that you might want to keep some of the workouts, for later. So yeah.
So, and for those that haven't, I mean, I'm sure if you listen to the episodes, you've heard me talk about the Rise events. These are some of the funnest events. So if you can get down to Bend, I'm making sure I'm down there, twice in May.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ready. So I've already got those. I've already got my condo booked and everything else. I think I need to sign up for the races, but I've got the condo booked. So
awesome.
I will be down there for both those days, both those weekends.
Very, very good. And we do have something pretty special this year. This is my first time doing it, but we're doing a huge Black Friday special. So I'm going to let everybody know about it now. So what you might want to do is look at the events and decide which ones you want to do or which one. We're doing 20% off the first event. And then if you sign up for a second event, we're giving 50% off. And then if you sign up for even a third, another 50% off. So there's a few of you that have been deferred from Battle HD. So just so you know, like Mike, you're one of them. If you sign up it's going to go up next Thursday on Thanksgiving for a week. So if you sign up during that period, you'll get the 50% off.
Okay.
Next.
So I know I've already got the Battle HD because I deferred that one got deferred, but I do need to sign up. It's the Rise, the Ranch Challenge, which is
May 7th.
Early May 7th.
Yeah.
So for those not going to Montana, for those other guys, which I'm not going to Montana, I'm going to Bend. So May 7th is going to be a blast. The Ranch Challenge last year was of so much fun. And then the Memorial Day weekend, right, is going to be Battle HD. And then one day is Saturday. Right?
That's right. So Saturday is the Troops Challenge. So what we're trying to do is help a lot of folks that are scared of shooting. It's kind of a weird, because Battle HD has live shooting in it. So we're doing this as a whole military weekend. So Saturday is the Rise Troops Challenge. There's an airsoft involved, which is not live. And then there's our typical kind of race, but it's going to be at Costa this year. And then we're going to offer a quick shooting course with Ken from Liberation Firearms Training. He's one of the best in the US. He's super, and he's super approachable too, which I love. So he's very friendly and nice. And then if somebody's like, well, I think I want to do Battle HD, that it's $20 to sign up for that. What I would do is take that off the registration fee. And anybody who has signed up for the whole weekend will get that clinic for free as well. And as a special like finish extra medal. So you would get 3 medals, 2 shirts, and a shooting clinic with Ken. And then on Monday, if anybody is still in town, we always rock up Pilot Butte, which is like a mile up a nice hill, and we do a memorial workout. So that's free. We would probably ask if anyone wants for donations to Central Oregon Veterans Outreach. I'm going to reach out with them too. Like it could be monetary if somebody wants, but they also take a lot of in-kind goods. So we can always get a list going for it. It's not mandatory, but it's just something to help them out. So yeah.
And that's going to be that Monday. It's kind of the workout's kind of a Murph style, right?
It is a Murph style, but so we're going to hike up with a ruck or a backpack and use that. So no pull-ups, but like overhead presses, push-ups, squats, basically. Yeah.
Right on.
It's always fun.
That does sound fun. So I should be there. At this point, I'm planning on being there until Monday. So I will probably be, my plan is to do all 3. So.
Okay, cool.
I just love supporting everything you do. And I mean, they're such fun races, and it's like I've told everyone, they're different, I've done all the big guy races, and they're cookie cutter. It's like I say, I can go and do one of their races here or do one of their races in the East Coast, and it's the exact same obstacles. It's the same everything. And yours, even from year to year, has been different,
Yes. Yeah.
So I did because the one we just did was the Troops Challenge, right?
That's right. It was the Troops Challenge. Yeah. And we're even changing it a bit again because when we have it again, we're going to start with military PFT. So a little physical fitness test, but I'm like, so we're going to have push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups and some stuff, but it's, we're making it so it basically you just get time off your course. So you're going to start with that and then do the obstacle course. So we're rewarding somebody who can say, do a couple pull-ups. And if somebody can't, it's no big deal. You just don't get seconds taken off.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So yeah. So just to change it up a little bit this year. So,
which is what's cool. Like your events, they keep, evolving, into more and more. And like I said, I did the Troop Challenge last year. And then this year did it again. And it was a completely different race. I mean, there was some of the same from last year, but there was a lot more added to it. Having the help from, the youth.
The youth challenge. I love those kids so much.
Those kids were amazing. I mean, they were out there, they were helping. They were so fun. A lot of them seemed to look at us like, why are you doing this? You're insane. But, it was a great challenge. And the fact that like the long course, once you come down and you do the tri-lane traverse, you go across the rope and then do that wall. The wall every year is just so, you're so close and it's so hard to like not fall off. But then, you pick up a 40-pound pack and go run some more. And, that was a blast. I mean, this year was so much fun. And the team that I ran with, they were so great. I didn't want to slow them down. I was worried about that because I had the cracked rib at the time, but we had a blast and we had so much fun and it was great.
No, you did great. Yeah, they're a great crew. I love those guys. Train with me and stuff. But the youth challenge they were so cute, the kids. And I remember they said, "Ma'am, we get this every day. Like people pay for this race because it's a military school." So, but a lot of them wanted to do it. And then afterwards, they were so helpful. So I went and gave them a bunch of dog tags. So the kids that came out. But yeah, so they'll be at the Ranch Challenge for sure. The Memorial Day, they usually have that weekend off. So they may not be there, but we'll have others. We'll have other people. We'll have Dave.
Yeah. I mean, you got a really good group down there and a really good, base like volunteer group. I mean, there's the people in my brain is going dead at the moment that are always there. I want to say Tammy, but that's you. But there's
I know,
the other lady I talked
Ray,
about.
is there? Oh, Pam, probably who
Pam,
owns
yes,
registration. I love her.
Pam.
She's good.
She does great because it was her husband that I ran with, right?
That's right. Yes. So it was a great story with her husband because he saw one of my races on TV and called me the next day and said, I want to train with you. I'm in my mid 50s. I was National Guard, but that was like 30 years ago.
Mhm.
And he said, I'm out of shape. And then he showed up the day after. And honestly, like I expected him never to come back. Right. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, oh, well, this is, but he just kept showing up. And then they have horses and stuff. So all of a sudden he'd be like, hey, I can do pull-ups on the, on the, whatever those bars are called, like the gates and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's been running and yeah. And Dale, and you've seen him and he's just turned into a monster.
Yeah, Dale's great. And I mean, you've got Ray's out there every time. He's awesome.
Ray's always awesome.
Ray's great. I mean, you have a good crew down there. I mean, that is just so much fun and they're so nice. I mean, it's one of those things that, they're just so nice, so helpful to everyone. That's one of the reasons I love doing your races. I mean, it's just the atmosphere and the obstacles. So
awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's important for me. All my favorite races, even if my personal race goes crappy, if the volunteers and the organization are on, that just changes everything. Yeah.
So, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, I've told you because usually I end up going down there because you get that whole thing of you got people that are gonna go with you, and then at the last minute, none of them show.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna go anyway. It's like I said, I'll sign up as Team BeastNet, and if I get a team, cool. If I don't, just put me on whoever needs it. So
that's awesome.
Which I have no problem with. That's what happened this time. I ended up with Dale's team because they were missing one person and I was alone. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
It meant that we were all guys, so we couldn't win. But
I know
it was so fun. RGB.
I wish I could race with you guys. I was like, I kept bugging his wife, said, we can direct. I'll go with these guys. I need a female.
And it was so funny because the other team, RGB, that won, they were like sitting there and they're looking at us like, no, you were way ahead of us. And we're like, yeah, but we knew the whole time we weren't in contention because we didn't have a female with us. So we're just out here having fun. And they're looking at us like, you sure you don't want it? I'm like, no, we didn't earn it because we didn't follow the rules. So
yeah, I was unfortunate. I had a female for you guys, but literally last minute, she had a little injury, and I was like, oh, so. And it's what it is. You had fun, and really for these races, I mean, my whole purpose is to get community out and to have a lot of fun and a challenge. Like the girl who came in at the end, that made it almost a big reason of why I even put these on. Sometimes you put them on and they're small and you're like, oh, all my time and money's gone. And then you see this girl crossing and everyone's waiting. And then you're like, oh, this is huge. So,
and I mean, you could see on her face how much she really appreciated the fact that all of us were still there.
Yeah,
exactly. We were cheering her on. Nobody, everybody's clapping for her. And I mean, that's a great feeling, and I think a lot of people, that's one of my issues I have with some races. I've been at races where, when I was bigger, I was the final racer. And it was like everything was being taken down as I finished. And there was my wife and Dawn like, yay. And I'm like,
yeah, you feel weird. That'd be an awkward feeling to have that. So yeah, we made sure she finished and earned her medal, and that was super awesome. So I just love the community. I love everybody who goes to these races, and it's just a great group. And
and stuff like that's gonna be why they come back. Exactly. I mean, it's one of those things, she's gonna remember that. And she was, like, I think if it had been, nobody there and the typical like just end of the race, like, hey, yay, here you go. I think she would have been like, cool, I'm never doing this again. But you could see on her face that she wanted, we were talking to her about the next ones, and she's like, oh, when is it? And then we're like, you get to shoot guns. She's like, oh, when is it?
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that one's good. It's very different, but I mean, they're all different. So that's makes it enjoyable. And the ranch challenge will be at the same place too. And of course I have that is supporting a place I volunteer at, Harmony Farm Sanctuary. And so that one's an extra special one close to my heart. I usually do a stupid thing in the spring myself to raise funds. So I'll probably do that again. But yeah, I love that one too. Dale and Pam are the one who even got me the location. So it's at the Sheriff Posse property. But yeah, lots of hay bale stuff again. And I'll add some more obstacles that will do on it. Just make it a little bit harder and longer. So it'll still be about 3 to 4 miles, but yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, it was one of those things that, it was a blast. And what's so funny is I've had a few people, because they were like, especially with the ranch challenge, they're like, oh, because this year it was just under 3, right? Or just over.
I think it was just under 3, like right around 3,
Yeah.
maybe just tiny bit.
And I had a lot of people like, you went that far for a 3-mile race. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm going to do it again next year because
Yeah.
you make it worthwhile. I mean, it's a blast. It's so much fun. It's stuff I've never would have thought to do. I mean, that hay bale,
Rope climb.
rope climb was, crazy. It's something I never would have thought of. You just stack up a whole bunch of hay bales, 20 feet high. Now climb up it.
I know.
Then the pyramid. Take it all down, take it apart, and then rebuild the whole pyramid of hay bales. And it's one of those things that it's something you're not going to see at a normal race. It's something you're not going to see, and that's what I love about yours. They're different, and they're different every time. It's like you do the ranch challenge is completely different than Battle HD. And then Battle
totally.
HD,
Yeah.
it's completely different than the Troops challenge. So they're
Exactly.
it's not the same race over and over again. So I have no problem driving down to Bend.
Yeah.
Amber likes it down there, and especially if we can get the condo, because there's a really nice, area where the condo is. So,
Awesome.
it's gonna be a fun weekend. So, I mean, I love driving down there for the races. So,
Yeah, it'll be a super fun weekend. Yeah. And the Memorial one, the reason I switched it up a tiny bit is because we're kind of like, so in my head, the Troops Challenge is like boot camp. You make your boot camp, and now you're going to war. The Battle HD, that's why it is shorter, but it's super intense, and there's live shooting, and there's that crazy wall. And so that's kind
I'll have issues with that. Yeah, that wall. But that's part of what makes it fun. I can remember the first time I walked up to it, and I'm like, "Wait, you want me to do what?" Like, you can do this. Go for it. And I'm like,
it is freaky.
You really pretty much walk up the wall like Batman. I mean, that's the best way to do it. I mean, it's, and it's so much fun though. I mean, it's, it's like I said, a whole different challenge. And, the shooting of the guns is pretty cool. Cause I mean, you've always had somebody there. And I mean, I know you said this time there might be an extra one because Ken's going to be there. I got to talk to Ken because I want to get him on here because what they do at Liberation of Firearms is amazing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I love Ken. So we are going to have 2 different shooting bays. So he's left up to whatever he wants as long as it's not the same as what Dave does on the other shooting.
And like we did last time, it was, you came up, there was the heavy lifting. You had to do, what was it? 187 pound?
Yeah, 185-pound deadlifts.
Yep.
I think. Or did you guys do 225? I can't remember.
I don't know. It was heavy. I remember
it was heavy. And then
that's when I was just running a lot. I hadn't been lifting at all. So I went to go do those, and I'm like, oh God. So,
you did them though. This year they're going to change it up a little bit. So it's going to be Atlas stone over a bar, which is kind of fun. So a little bit more strongman. So if anyone can practicing deadlifts is awesome. Practicing lifting like stones is good too. And they're not going to be as heavy. I'm Strength Warehouse not to be stupid heavy, but they're going to do something like, 2 minutes. How many times can you get the Atlas stone over the bar? And I think
I remember the Atlas ball they had was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I can remember because I picked it up and it was one of those things. And Tatiana was like, I'm so proud of you. You never dropped it. I'm like, because I knew if I set it down, I wasn't picking it back up. I mean, so I just had to rush.
Exactly. It sucks carrying it, but it sucks more to drop it and have to do it again. For sure. No, you were very smart on that. So that one's when I played with strongman a little bit, and that's actually one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite tasks, is pick it up and throw it over the bar. I don't know. It's kind of fun.
And I've seen that one a couple times where you do that one. So, and I know there was another race, I think it was like over in Omak, where they had one where it was you took a rock and threw it over your shoulder. But
okay.
But so this will, I mean, it's good to have different things. Like I said, last time there was the keg. I remember Adam knocked himself silly with it.
Yeah, poor Adam.
So, and that's, it's nice to have those different things. I know we did the heavy lifting, we did the, that, and then there was the axe throw.
Axe throwing, that's right.
Which was interesting because it's really hard to get, because if you threw it hard, it would bounce back out. So you had to get this like perfect throw where it would stick but not come back out. So that was an interesting one. And then we had the door breach where you went up with the shotgun. And then after you breach the door, you got to shoot, downrange.
Yeah.
I was kind of mad I hit it on the second shot because I didn't get to shoot anymore. But
I know. That one's fun for sure. Yeah.
And then after you finished that, you went and ran.
Exactly. Yeah, the obstacle course. So it'll be same format, lifting, shooting, the obstacle course, but like I said, a little bit an extra bay, and then the Atlas over bar, and I think they were thinking of the keg overhead press still. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, which is, it's one of those things that, the other thing is with the shooting. I mean, I grew up with guns. I've grown up with friends, and my parents weren't big into shooting, but I had a lot of friends, family members and stuff like that. So I grew up, one of my brothers was, so I grew up learning how to use guns, do everything like that. And what I really liked when we did the Battle HD was Dave made sure that whoever grabbed it, you felt comfortable. He would talk to you. What do you need help with this and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't like just, here's a gun, figure it out. Dave was
not at all. Yeah.
Very much to teach us as well. So
Oh.
that's one thing I like. And with the Liberation firearms, but that, I mean, that's another thing that's going to be good that I know Ken is very good about, teaching people how to use firearms correctly. So not only are we getting an obstacle course race, we're also getting, people are getting a lesson in firearm safety.
Yeah, you're getting a lesson in firearm safety and shooting, and those are usually really not cheap. They're expensive usually. So totally getting a bonus. Dave taught me how to shoot. It's funny because a lot of people think I like shooting because of the races I put on, but I did not grow up with guns. But Dave taught me how to shoot. I had to shoot for a race that I was doing, and he was so good. And it's fun once you do it a couple times. It's the noise and the like apprehension of firing it. So that's why on Saturday, like it will be pretty short because I know everybody will be tired and stuff, but probably like an hour or so clinic with Ken and just like feeling comfortable with it, feeling safe. And then, and then if somebody has had experience, he can say, okay, let's just practice some targets and stuff like that. So.
Which is cool. I mean, it's which is nice. Like I said, that's one of the things that, I think a lot of people have apprehension about. They're like, oh, guns. I don't know. Like, no, they will sit with you and make sure it's not gonna be like, here's a gun, do it quickly. It's like, no, hey, do you know how to use this? Do you want me to help you with it? Do you want this? Do you want that? And I mean, it was really good because I think it was the person right in front of me had like very little to no experience with guns. And do everything with her very well. Made sure she understood it, made sure she was comfortable. And that was
that's awesome. Yeah. And it's not and that part isn't taken, it's not included in your time or anything.
Yeah.
People don't need to feel rushed. He'll go over it. And then when you're ready to shoot, it's basically for score. So basically you hit your target or you don't. And all that does is take off time of your obstacle course or not. But he makes, so that part, people don't need to feel rushed and stuff like that.
And that was the other part, like I said, that I really liked. It wasn't rushed. It was one of those things where I think a lot of people think that too. Oh, in a race and I get a shoot. It's like, no, the shooting is just for points.
Yes, exactly.
Points, those points, you can, go towards, I can't remember how you did it, but it was like, you got points for everything. And then it was all the points put together.
All the points put together, exactly.
Yeah, the only time you were really racing was when you were running the obstacle course.
Exactly, that's right. And I start and stop your time there. So we basically split it up in half last time. So half of your points was the obstacle course time, and then like a quarter of them were for shooting and a quarter of them were for the strength stuff. And because Dave puts on a lot of shooting events, 3-gun and all these other things, he was so instrumental in getting these little devices and being able to get that all taken care of, and it made it really easy. So the kind of computer did all the stuff for you. So once he had to set up,
which is so cool. So one thing you can let me know this time ahead of time if you need extra like earplugs and like safety glasses.
Okay.
I can talk to you because that's what I do. I'm a safety
That's
guy.
right.
I can
Yes,
talk to my
yes.
company and maybe we can, I can get them to help sponsor and give me some. So
Okay, that'd be great.
Right.
Thank you so much. Okay.
that way we can make sure, we have the safety
Everybody
glasses.
has, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I have my own, but that's because I'm a safety guy. So of course I have my own.
exactly. No, that'd be great.
Yeah. So yeah, I can talk to them and get you some so that we can have some down there and stuff. And
Mhm. Perfect.
so, which is, I can't wait. So what was it? It's May 7th, you said, is for
The Ranch Challenge. Yes, and then Memorial Weekend, I believe it's the 29th. I always get the dates wrong. Saturday is the Troops Challenge. So that's going to be 4 to 5 miles, probably to 5, knowing, and then the second day is the Battle HD, and then the Monday is a free workout. I'll probably keep it like not crazy early, but in the morning, like 9 or 10. It's about an hour. So
I will have to make sure, and I'm going to make sure this gets out so that everyone can see, to sign up over Black Friday. I will be signing up for
Yes.
the two that I haven't signed up for yet, the Ranch and Battle HD. Oh no.
yeah, you'll get it. You'll end up with a free race basically. So so yeah, so we just put it out on the website, and I'm going to start putting some social media posts out. But yeah, if people want to check out the website, and then it's a great opportunity to try something, try a race if you haven't raced, or if people have done it before, to add the second one on. So yeah, so definitely we will not have a deal like that again this year. That is going to be the biggest deal. So.
Yeah, so I can't wait. I mean, it's one of those things, like I said, I always love going to your races. It's just a completely different feeling than everything else. And I got to remember too, when Pam tells you to check your shirt, because I got a woman's extra large.
Don't. Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah. She already has them organized, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
She
cute.
told me, she's like,
my merch.
hey, make sure and go back and check your shirt because it might be a woman's extra large because we just realized that they were mixed together. And I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. And then I get home and I would put it on and I'm like, yeah, this is a woman's extra large.
Oh, damn. Well, maybe bring it back if you haven't used it and we can exchange it.
Yeah. Because I made sure to pick the opposite color because I have, I think, black from last time. So I grabbed red this time. So, but yeah, so it is great events. What other things you got going on? I know you just did, you did the burpee. We talked, I think, last time about the burpee challenge where you did, what was it, 6,000 and something burpees?
Yes, I did 6,116 in 12 hours. And then I did, it was a 12 and 24 hour challenge, and I did 6260 in the 24. I was pretty injured. So I actually felt pretty good, except for I had a really bad shoulder strain and elbow tendonitis. So that was the worst part of the challenge. Last weekend, or actually like the weekend before on the 6th, I did my first 100-mile race. So I could just keep trying new challenges. I used to race Elite Spartan. I used to do obstacle course races. And then I got into the Suck series, and they had a 12 and 30. They had a 36-hour event, which is super cool. He mixes like military and farm chores and just sucky stuff. But honestly, like I won it overall and I love it, but I just felt like, I don't know, like it's not challenge, like it doesn't scare me. The 100-mile race sucked. It scared me. I learned a lot. So yeah, so just trying to do different.
Well, I know that the 100-miler, you finished it.
Yeah, I finished.
I saw your post and I read it. You finished it, but it didn't go the way you expected. And that's one thing I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, because I know I literally just talked to someone the other day about who did not finish one. He hit 92 miles and his body just gave up.
Oh man, that's scary.
It was one of those, he hit 92 miles and like everything in his body had given up. And it was to a point where he's like, he just knew he wasn't going to hit the time because his body had given up. And at that, he went from like doing like 12-minute miles to where like one leg wasn't like bending anymore and kept like snapping, like doing weird stuff. And he was doing like, it dropped down to like 40-minute miles and he just couldn't,
Oh man.
So I know with yours, it didn't go perfect. I mean, you finished, but I mean, that's kind of one of those things I wanted to talk about, because I know you talked a lot about how, I did hear that you yelled at Ray, which is not something. but
It was so funny. Well, I know. And I put a lot of pressure on myself. Like I still finished pretty respectable, but it was my first one. And I wanted to put that post out because most people put posts out of all of their successes and how it goes. And I mean, my first Ironman, I didn't know about sodium and it was going great. And I thought I was going to die at the end. I was so dizzy and nauseated and out of it. So every time you learn, the first time I did the ultimate suck, I came back totally like cut up and demoralized. Right. So, and then I learned and I won it. I won't ever win a 100-mile race because that is not me. Like I'm not a true ultra runner, but just learning from the things you've done wrong. And the biggest thing I learned in this one was like, I had a nutrition plan and I was doing okay with my ginger because I get nausea later on. And then I just kind of stopped and it fell apart and it was dark for a long time. And Ray was awesome to help crew. He doesn't really know what he's doing at these and neither did I. So he learned a lot, by watching the leaders. And he said he would ask me if I wanted stuff. And I'm like, no, because I'm just feeling nauseated and icky. And I kept thinking it would come back, like I'd feel better, but I didn't. But he noticed the leaders, they don't get a choice. They were like, you have to have this date taken by the next aid station. And they took all the thinking out because you get so foggy and stupid in the mind, And then the funniest part was he paced me for a little bit near the end. Because of the time of year, it's dark out within like just over 12 hours of racing. So I had like another 12, 13 hours of darkness. And then he kept saying, good job. And that's when I stopped saying good job. This race sucks. I'm not doing a good job.
And I get it. I've been there. I've had that, where you just, everything's going to hell and you're like, shut up. But, that's what's amazing with Ray's. I mean, he's always there. And I mean, he's always so helpful and so positive that I could see when you're at like mile like 80 or 90 and he's like, you're like, shut up, I'm gonna punch you.
Exactly, pretty much. Yeah. It was funny. He was great. It was good to have. He's like probably one of my closest friends on the planet. So
yeah, I could definitely see it. It's one of those, I love you, but I'm gonna kill you if you don't shut up.
Exactly. It's like having a sibling or something. And at the end, it was so helpful too, because my feet have never hurt that bad. I was thinking like I've done 36-hour events and my feet didn't ever hurt that bad. So your legs are trash, fine. But then trying to put any weight on your feet was like somebody was hitting him with the sledgehammer or something. So, and then I just get so humbled and think of these guys doing like the Moab 240. And the whole reason of this stupid races is I want to do Badwater one day and you have to have a few 100-milers in. That's even worse because that's pavement and it's hot. So just a lot of learning and a lot of appreciation for anyone, like not even the top, but the guys who are trying to make the cutoff times because they're out there suffering for a long time in all these races. So yeah.
They are, and that's the thing is, I mean, you made a great point in the beginning. Is you see all the times where all of us do this. We post our victories, like, hey, I did this, and hey, I did that, and people don't see that. Yeah, maybe I did it, but hey, you don't understand how much I struggled to get through this, and people don't see that side of it, and it's because you don't always show it sometimes on posts, and that's why it was so amazing when I saw your post, and I'm just like, that's so awesome that you're showing, your vulnerability in it and how it didn't go perfect, and showing people that, hey, I finished it, but it wasn't the ideal perfect race that you all think it was. I mean, it was actually a total nightmare.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I wish sometimes you could get pictures of that, but in hindsight, I mean, even if I backpacked, like I went on a 5-day backpacking trip, which is amazing, but there was times I'm like, I hate this so much and it sucks. But you're not going to pull out your camera. You're just trying to climb a stupid mountain, right? So that's, I think, half of the problem is you're not like, oh, I feel like this, I'm in a nightmare right now and in a low point, and let's take some videos of myself. You're not thinking that at all. You're just so yeah.
You're not. And it's one of those things. It's like I keep telling Don, I think we're gonna have an episode here soon where it's gonna be, I told him, I was like, I think we need to have an episode where me and him just talk about like the trouble that we both run into, you know, with like trying to lose weight. Like I just posted recently, like, you know, I'm gonna hold myself accountable because I'm 40 pounds bigger than I was. When I hit the 180, I was probably too small anyway. I mean, that was
exactly.
I look skeletorish, so I need to add. I needed more than the 180, but about 200, 190, 200 is about right. And right now I'm about 220, 225, and some of it is muscle. Yes, my chest is bigger, my arms are bigger, but there's gut again. You know, and it's one of those that, you know, everyone only sees my wins when I'm like, hey, look how much I lost, look how great I've done. And then it's like, yeah, but you don't see how I'm also struggling, you know, to do it. Because we all did.
It didn't just come easy. It takes discipline and work all the time. Ray's actually, I have him on a nutrition plan because he wants to lean down. So, and it's a struggle. Like, it's not easy. I thought it was really cool that you posted that. I think I wish we did that more. When I had an old gym, I used to have a sports facility and I put a lot of failure posters up. Like there's one that I loved of Michael Jordan, and it's like, I failed. I was all about failures. You know, he failed to make the high school team. He got kicked out of the high school basketball team. He failed, like, you put how many shots he failed, how many wins he failed, how many of this, and the bottom is that that's why I succeed. And I think that's like super important. So
it is. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people, like you said, I mean, I've read the Michael Jordan one, and that one just amazes me every time. And like, he was told no at every turn. Like, they're like, no, I don't think. He played in college, right? I think.
Yes.
But, no, I don't think he was a starter to begin with. And there was a lot of times where people were like, no, you're not good enough. You're not this. And then all of a sudden, I mean, he's considered, you know, arguably one of the best players of all time.
Yes.
You know, and it's just to think that he was told no so many times. And it's one of those things. I just saw a thing. One of my favorite football players has always been Kurt Warner.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just saw a thing that they're making a movie that's coming out on Christmas about him.
Oh, cool.
And a lot of people ask why I love him so much. And I'm like, because he literally was boxing groceries at a grocery store the year before he won the Super Bowl. He is the epitome of don't give up. You know, he never gave up and just kept going for it. And that's, everyone sees how great he did when he won the, you know, he was, you know, NFL MVP, Super Bowl MVP, but they don't forget that the year before he was working at a grocery store. But he didn't give up on his dreams. And that's what I think a lot of people forget is like, hey, yes, we've had a couple bad days. I've gained some weight back. You know, I've had a couple, you know, I DNF'd my first Ironman. But does that mean I give up? No, I turned around and signed up for the next one and said, okay, where did I fail on my training? You know, and what do I need to make sure that, you know, I don't fail next time? One of them was I have a really nice specialized Les bike over there now. So I have a better bike. That will help, but I also need to get out there and swim some more. You know, I need to get back into the swimming and get used to the cold water.
Swimming sucks, Ironmans, but I think that is where a lot of your race can be toast in the swim, especially if you drink a lot of water and get beat up and just have a horrible time and you're off and it's a long day. So yeah, I definitely recommend that.
And that's one thing a lot of people don't realize is they're like, oh, you know, the swim's only an hour or less of the race. I'm like, yeah, but that hour, and it takes you an hour, and it took me over an hour. It was just over an hour of barely being able to breathe. I'm fighting it. By the time I came out of the water, my body was already sapped. I was smoked. And it took me, you know, some food and 20 miles to get out of that, you know, and I finally got out of it and got some energy back, but it was too late. I just couldn't get fast enough after that to catch up, you know, and that's it, you know, you're chasing the whole time, but I didn't give up. I kept going until they basically said, you can't race anymore. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm sign up for next year.
Well, good for you. No, that's good. Never give up. Yeah, I think that's a huge point. I should, there's a 22-minute compilation, and that was at the start of my burpees. And that's also where I start to train with a lot. And it has a lot of different people on, like Will Smith has a quote on Fail Forward, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is on there, and all these guys. And a lot of it is like, don't give up on your dreams. Like, all, you know, because all of them have gone through stuff, all of them, you know, they have a lot of, everybody has, and we just don't see it. You just see the companies or the athletes that are up there, and you don't see the days that they're grinding and the injuries they've been through or life stuff. for everybody. So yeah.
You just see the wins, and that's because that's what we focus on. And like when you look at Facebook, you got to remember too, when you're seeing that person on Facebook or any Instagram or anything like that, you see they have this perfect life and this perfect body and everything else. You're not seeing the behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're not seeing what they had to do to get there. You're not seeing that they've fallen down, more times, than they can count, but they got up every time and kept going. And that's what we're not seeing, and that's one of the things I kind of want to, work on bringing that to light a little bit more. Like, hey, this is how, I did this, like, like I was saying with your 100-miler, you did it, but it wasn't perfect.
Yes, exactly. I wanted to put that on there. All the things I thought about, and like Rocky's the best videos. Everybody should watch him all the time. Right. Actually, Sylvester Stallone has a crazy story. Like he sold his dog. He had no money at all for Rocky, and he
bought it back.
He bought his dog back. He said that was the worst thing he's ever done in his life. He couldn't even feed his dog. He bought his dog back for 15 grand, and he only got 25 for the movie. So yeah, so I saw it. I think Tony Robbins had a story on it. I was just like, I knew it was really hard, but I didn't know he was that hard. I mean, his wife left him. He was doing he's like, he had nothing. Yeah. So.
And there's a lot of them like that, where like I said, we see the successes, we don't see the failures. And it's one thing like I said, that's why I loved your post. It's like, it highlighted it, which, I think we need to do more often. That's kind of, like I said, I talked to a guy who just, DNF'd 100-miler, but, he learned from it. And that's one of the things you have to remember is every time, it's like they say, for the champions, it's not that they never got knocked down. It's just that they got up.
They got up.
They got up.
They kept getting up. I did not know this, but Courtney DeWalter, she's like the craziest female 100-miler right now. Like she's beaten men in races and has all these records, but she DNF'd her first 100. It took her a few, but of course she comes in the spotlight and everybody's like, she's this big superstar. But it didn't, she didn't just come from nothing. So,
which, that's one thing that I think we should remember. So, people don't. And that's one thing, too, that I can't wait for your events, because in your events, everybody wins. Everybody wins.
If you don't give up, you will win. If you do not, just don't give up. That's all, right? They're all meant to be, you can burpee out of obstacles. Like we have pull-ups in the next one, but if you don't do them, you just don't get a bonus. So, but if you just keep moving forward, then that's why I want those like that. Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, they can be hard, but you just keep moving forward, which, by the way, that the sandbag carry in the last one, that's but
it was awesome. I was out there running with Dale, and did he tell you? Yeah, he's like, thanks. I was like, how far does this go up? Let's make this a little longer this time. And he's like, damn it.
When we got up there, he's like, yeah, you can thank me for the length of this, because I'm the one that did it. I'm like, thanks, Dale.
I know. Dale's funny.
But it was, that's what made it fun, though. I mean, it's, fun. And like I said, the group that I was with, I mean, that was a great team. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
All of us, we kept telling Levi that he needed to just say that he identified as a woman, but he wouldn't do it.
We tried. We could have put a tutu on Dale or something.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have been hilarious. Yeah.
But like I said, it was one of those things that was so funny. It was like the other team was more like upset for us than we were. They're like, "Oh, you should have won." It's like, no, we didn't.
No,
we knew we didn't follow the rules. We're fine. We don't. It's no big deal. I mean, we just came out here to have fun anyway. So
yeah. I always give them co-ed just to make it even, because if there's an all, I mean, eventually if I have a couple hundred people in the race, I might do men's, female co-ed if we start getting to that point. But yeah, that's why, just to have it.
Well, I hope we get to that point, because more people need to get out here and do this race. So
yes.
One thing, why I will have you on this show anytime, because I love promoting your stuff. And if you listen to the other episodes, I think you'd be surprised to find out how many times I talk about your race. But
thank you so much. I appreciate the support.
Oh yeah, I like I said, I mean, I can't say enough good about it. I mean, it's everyone there is so great. I mean, the obstacles are different, and that's been my biggest problem with some of the bigger races. Like, I haven't said it, but Spartan is one of those where I just did the ultra in Dallas and I finished it, but there was nothing new.
Yeah, they used to have new stuff when I competed, and they used to have things like scary things like you can't put the lid on the bucket. And I used to love it because you're like, please don't drop this bucket because I got to go do it again. But yeah, so it's too bad. But I mean, it is what it is. I think a lot of companies just go corporate. And
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, it's just gotten to a point that it's the same obstacles over and over again. And I mean, I did it because I've always wanted to say I did it, and I wanted that
Yeah.
buckle just to say, hey, I did it.
didn't.
So I earned the buckle.
Awesome.
I haven't seen it
Awesome.
yet. I haven't seen the buckle yet, but I earned it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they ran out at like 250, and there was over 350 finishers.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't too excited. I didn't get mad at the all volunteers because I'm like, no, it's not you.
It's not their fault. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I still wanted to come home with that, but it's like,
Yeah.
the challenge was there. I did the challenge, but I don't think I'll ever do it again. But it's one of those things that, like, for your race, I have no problem paying. I have no problem coming down. I have no problem doing it because I know I'm gonna have a blast. With this one, it just honestly felt like I suffered just to suffer, just to say,
Just to say you got that. Yeah, check
yeah,
off
I
the
did it.
list.
And besides meeting some really cool people, I met someone, because me and my wife have talked about moving to Texas. I met someone who lives in the town that we want to move to.
That's cool.
So I became good friends with her, and I met some really great people. But other than that, the Dallas race to me was honestly, if I'd gone just for that, I would have been completely disappointed, and the trip would have been a waste. And I hate to say that, but it would have been. Where, like, if I go down to yours, I'm just going down to do the race and hang out with you guys. So
Yeah.
I make Ray, have to set an appointment with Ray for like Friday or Monday to give me a massage next time. But
Yeah, he's very good.
I've heard he's really good. So
He's really good.
prices are reasonable. So I may have to like set up an appointment, get him to give me a massage. But it's, one of those things that, I love your races, and I come back even without, even if there was no medal. I mean, I would come away happy because I had a blast. Because like I've made the comment before, like, I could lose every medal that I have, but at least I still have the memories that came with them.
Yeah, exactly.
I can look at them and I can't tell you what happened on that race. Because especially like, a lot of the other ones, it's the same medal and over again. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that medal, I knew what it meant the first one, but I don't know the rest of them. But I could tell you, if you ask me what happened at a specific race, I can tell you. So you can't take my memories.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I love about Rise.
Awesome.
You can't take my memories. So
Very cool.
yeah. So what else? Do you have anything else crazy coming up? I know you did the 100-miler, you did the burpees. What else you got coming up?
Well, in this, it depends. It's either going to be another ultra race. I am in the back burner looking to try to break the ruck marathon record, but it is 40 pounds and I'd have to do like a 10-minute mile. So I will see how it goes. And if it's not going great, then I will postpone it for a year. So we'll just see. So there's either that or another ultra in the spring. I might go and do the West Coast suck. It's in San Diego. So the guy who put the ultimate suck on does that one. And it is so much fun. You have to like basically hump. It's a night race. It's 12 hours and you hump through the mountains and do a bunch of military workouts and stuff. So yeah, so they're good people. So we'll kind of see. Kind of things right now. I did notice as I built up the mileage, like the strength was going. So, and I did injure my hip flexor a little bit. So I'm going to take the next couple of months and just really work on strength and all the little things. So yeah.
Which is good. And I mean, that's the thing is, once you get to that point where you can kind of notice things that happen, you can figure out, what you want to train on. So I know for me, I'm trying to figure out, my goal at the beginning of the year was to run 1,500 miles.
Oh, okay.
I'm about 200 miles short at the moment.
Okay. That's
it'd
be hard, but doable.
They are, and that was it. Because I planned to be already almost there by now, but I kind of burned out in June, and
gotcha.
July, August, September was very low mileage. I just did the 100 miles that I said I was going to do every month, and that was it. And then, so now it's like, okay, now that's kind of caught up to me and I need to catch up. So I've been basically using the treadmill a lot right now because I tweaked my knee a little bit doing.
Oh, okay.
Well, because I did the Dallas Ultra, and then 2 weeks later I did the Battle Miles Death Race with Brian.
Oh, okay.
Another 30 plus miles just 2 weeks after the,
Oh, wow. That one sounds
I don't plan well, and I'm supposed to do a marathon next weekend. So it's like I'm just doing the treadmill because it's not as hard on my knee for a bit, but
yeah.
to mix it up. But and
Yeah.
that's it. We just find different ways to keep, and that's the hard part, I think, is
I think so.
yeah.
Mhm.
Once you have the injury, saying, okay, this hurts, I don't want to stop.
No, exactly. It's tough. Yeah.
So how can I adjust and continue, and I think that's one of the things a lot of these obstacle course race teaches us is, hey, just because there's an obstacle doesn't mean you stop. You find a way up,
Exactly.
over, through.
Exactly, for sure. Yeah. And sometimes it's a good, like I thought, well, this is a good break in a way to do kind of focus periods. I like focus periods, I think. So it's good. But yeah, so 200 miles left. You have like 6 weeks.
Yeah, about 200 miles left. So, I mean, I got it. And like I said, I've got a marathon coming up and I'm trying to decide. Last year for my birthday, I did 43 miles. For my age. I ran my age. So this year I'm trying to decide if I want to do that again because my birthday's the December 2nd. So
Mhm.
it wouldn't be that weekend. It'd probably be a couple weekends after, probably like the 17th or something. So I'm thinking I might run another 44 milers. So see if
That's
I can
awesome.
get my age again. And I'm also doing, between Dawn and Brian, they came up with this insane challenge called the Pretty Mike Challenge. I think you saw it.
I shared it. Yeah. Yeah.
Start with
So-
100 pounds and then you just, start dropping 10 pounds every quarter mile. So we're going to go on a quarter mile track. And every
Yeah, that'd be
quarter mile,
awesome.
10 pounds. So
I will probably make my team do a variation of it. And I'm also working with search and rescue right now, which they need that heavy stuff. So I'll probably give it to them too.
so yeah, it's just a crazy challenge because once I hit that, because I hit the 100 pounds lost, but it's like, I don't, at 100 pounds, at 180, I was too skinny. So
Yeah, I think so. Probably, yeah.
So right on, Ball. Is there anything
Awesome.
else you want to say to the listeners while we got you?
Not really. Like, just check out the Black Friday specials. Feel free to reach out. We're a very approachable race company. We're small and we do care. So feel free to reach out and try the December challenge. So no excuses in Christmas. I loved the December challenge because a lot of people are slacking off and you're getting something in every day.
Yeah, which is awesome. So, and if anybody wants to go to the Rise Challenge events down in Bend, from up here where I'm at near me, let me know. We're heading down for both, May 7th and, Memorial Day weekend for the whole thing. I'm hoping that I've got a few people that are coming down with me this time. But if not, I'm going either way. So anybody wants to join us, let us know and we'll have some fun. So
Yes, you will.
all right.
See new people. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.